okay? The second thing was we have a very active Girl Scout troop. That Girl Scout troop kicked off their cans and recyclable, because that's what Girl Scouts do. The cans and recyclable drive to benefit the Boston, the One Fund Boston. And then we have women runners who had always run. You know, every year there's a charitable 5K that happens in our community. They always run. So they decided that year to run for Boston, right? So these were activities that were already going on. So, but we did it together and we invited the media. You would be surprised, I was surprised by how shocked the media was. You mean you do things? They were like blown away, and which surprised me. Now, we're not a quiet in the corner community center. We were inaugurated by the Bishop of Albany, okay? We are well known, yet our activities are silent because we are not present in people's everyday life. So it is, I think it is, if talking about responsibility, this to me is part of what I call the dawa, my need to present to others what I really do, truly as it is, and not, because, you know, within Islam, there's an injunction saying the right hand can't know what the left hand gave, okay? Which means things are done in silence and secrecy because it is considered ostentatious to say what you do charitably. But this is what we have to do differently here, which is we have, as Muslims, we have to tell people publicly what we do.
We need to...
I think what you said was a statement of truth, and I agree with you that it was a statement of truth that things are not public, and so no, I am agreeing with you.
We need to move on. These folks have to get home. I'm old and I'm tired. So I'm going to take just a couple more questions.
I just want to elaborate on that. When we did the conference on radicalization, one of the main message that we had was from all these experts that sat down was that de-radicalization is done by demarginalization. If you marginalize a community, you're actually going to be putting them at a higher risk of radicalization. And that's what happens is that when the media and other people start to attack you and your version is not there, some people react differently to different traumas. Some people actually come out in the open and speak about the issue, and some people hide away. And that's what is happening with the community, which is under a microscope, but also under a perceived threat. That some of them are hiding away and some of them are standing up and speaking about some of these things.
I wanted to say first a couple things fast, and we are all tired, and I am old also. One of the President Bush deputy ministers said about teachers union, called them terrorists. So that's one definition of the terrorist. Although I have a friend who his mother and mother-in-law are teacher, and he told me the guy may not be too wrong. So, but what I wanted to say, answering your two of you, in regard to the Muslim killing the Muslim, if we are looking at the Iraq and Sunni is killing Shia or vice versa, it is not really, the Sunni is not really killing the Shia from their point of view. A Shia is siding with the invader, quote unquote, from their point of view. And the moment that you side with the invader, become part of the invader, then you are not Muslim. That's their understanding of the situation. So it's more political than really any kind of the religion issue. Second point is that, as one of you mentioned, that some terrorists look at the Quran and they see what they wanted to see. The Quran and Islam look like a Rorschach test, means ink blot.
Yeah.
Everyone see what is inside of him. If you wanted to kill, you would find something. If you wanted to create a peace, you would find something. So, in my opinion, as a psychiatrist, first hate would come, and then you try to justify it and legalize it and spiritualize it, and then you go to the religion and find a mentor and all of these things. So we need really to focus on the hate, and also you mentioned, and none of you talk about that, a sense of injustice that many of them feel that done to them or their tribe done to them. And they do collateral damage, that's what they use the words. They call the collateral damage in Afghanistan and Pakistan as terrorism, but here we call it terrorism when civilians are being killed. So that also is someone need to understand that.
Yeah, good. This is
Thank you.
This is Dr. Marvasti's book, by the way. That's Dr. Marvasti, who's written a book on psychopolitical aspects of suicide warriors, terrorism, and martyrdom. So.
And I read from it a few pages. It's very good. I'm going to go buy it. It's very good.
You know what I take away from tonight? Many things, but simply this: anyone can justify anything, and they can find reason. And it's interesting to me, going back to the quote from Eric Hoffer, we lie loudest when we lie to ourselves. And I think that speaks to the issue. I want to thank our panelists. Here we are in South Windsor in sight of greatness. The finest experts in the world have shared their time, have enlightened us, and it's so great. I was listening to talk radio this morning, and that's like the other end of it. Here we're getting truth and information, and it's very exciting. And I want you to know that for Human Relations Commission, me personally, and South Windsor, I think I'm safe in saying we really appreciate your being here. You've been absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. This town I know a little bit about already because I'm also friend with Dr. Anwar and Dr. Anwar. And as I said to her earlier today, that they have chosen the town very well, and it seems like the town has chosen well by choosing them. So you guys are amazing, and it's amazing that a town in Connecticut would have such diversity of view and such openness to ideas. So very impressed. Thank you. Thank you also, Human Relations Committee.